What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. As you have heard in multiple videos now, we did finally see Justice League, and I thought I would make a reaction video sort of similar to the Stranger Things one that I just put out. I've got my notes here, and it's just a really quick sort of rapid fire of my thoughts, feelings, reactions to the Justice League movie. So before I get started, I feel like it should go without saying, but it's gonna get a little spoilery in here, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, please don't watch this, but when you're done, come back, watch the video, and we can talk about everything in the comments down below. Sound good? All right, let's get going. So I just want to initially start by saying that I really liked this movie. I went in with very low expectations. I've talked about that on the channel before. DC movies are really hit or miss with me, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just, whatever happens, happens, and if I don't like it, I'm not gonna get upset about it. I mean, it's a movie, so you really shouldn't get that upset anyway. There are bigger things happening in the world, but you know what I mean. But I went in with very low, chill expectations of this movie. I was very excited for Wonder Woman, and I knew that Superman was going to happen. That was inevitable. So just kicking that off as a blanket statement, because I do have some critiques in the movie, things I like, things I don't like, but I did really enjoy it, and I think it is the best movie that DC has made so far. Well, if you don't count the Nolan Batmans, those are, I mean, the DCEU. Starting with a positive, that movie flew by for me, and there are some superhero movies and even Marvel movies, as much as I love them, that seem like they drag on a little bit. This was 2 hours long, over 2 hours I think by the end of it, and it did not feel like it at all. By the end I was just like, oh, it's over? Well, that was entertaining. Really got caught up in the story, and I wasn't aware of the time, which I think is a good sign when you're watching a movie. One thing I will say is that I do wish the return of Superman was kind of kept a secret and it wasn't so obvious, and maybe, I don't know, maybe save him for like the end for later. I do understand why they did what they did, and obviously it's a Justice League movie and Superman is in the Justice League, and it was inevitable, but I think that I would have reacted more strongly to his return if I didn't fully know it was going to happen. I mean, they had the Superman emblem on the movie posters, and they were making Superman Justice League toys, so it was not a surprise, and I do kind of wish that it was. The cast chemistry in this movie was fantastic. I think that they were all well cast and they all played very well together, and it looked like they had a good amount of fun making this movie. I am going to 100% need more Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and more of that. He has to be getting his own movie, right? More Mira. I was very excited to see her show up, and just more Aquaman. Because not only is he nice to look at, but he was incredibly fun to watch. I did really appreciate the whole lightening of the DC EU. The tone has been so dark, and BVS was such a dark, kind of depressing movie that I'm really glad that they sort of like took our notes and reactions as fans and really lightened the mood, because we needed that for sure. Okay, big elephant in the room time. So you guys probably heard that when they were filming, the actor playing Superman had a mustache, and they had to CGI the mustache off of him for the movie. I went into the movie knowing this, and it was the most distracting thing. So these emotional scenes where, Superman comes back, he's being reunited with his mother and Lois Lane, and he goes back to the farm and everything, that should have been like a really beautiful emotional moment, and I was just staring at like his mouth. I don't think they did a good job with the CGI, especially on Superman, but kind of in general. CGI was not my favorite, and it took me out of the movie a lot because it just didn't look, I don't know, things didn't look right. Really liked the story arc with Superman, and I enjoyed that part of it, but every time he went to talk, I just couldn't stop staring at how fake it looked. It looked so fake, right? Holy crap, that post-credit scene. I am so excited for Deathstroke. I am a huge Joe Manganiello fan, and I cannot wait for him to be in a comic book movie. I can't wait. Oh, and P.S. people left. A lot of people left before the movie is over, and the same thing happened when we saw Thor. Why are you still leaving? What kind of monsters are you? You're at a superhero movie, and if you're, you know, we've come so far with these, you gotta know at this point, there's shit at the end. There is always shit at the end. I thought Steppenwolf was a pretty cool villain for the most part. I got the vibe though during the movie that he was sort of like he would lead to a bigger bad. Like he was the character you beat before you go to beat the boss. Thinking back on that now, I'm guessing maybe like the parademons were those and then Steppenwolf was the boss. But he just, I don't know, he was too, by the end, it just seemed kind of like too easy to kill. And with the smelling fear, I mean, was nobody else afraid with the parademons that whole time? Why did they all just like flock to him at that moment? I don't know, that whole thing just seemed kind of weird to me. I also wish that we didn't have a villain that was like fully CGI, and I know that's kind of a ridiculous request for a lot of comic book villains because you just can't make that happen with a human. But I feel like maybe you could have with Steppenwolf. Wonder Woman was my favorite part of the movie, as she has been for every movie she's been a part of. I just think she is fantastic. I think they're doing really awesome things with her character, and I really like the evolution of her character, how by the end she's comfortable coming out with who she is. You know, she's a savior. This world needs more beacons of hope like Superman, and she's finally, you know, comfortable coming out of hiding and being Wonder Woman. That's so cool. I love that. I know a lot of people have some issues with Ben Affleck as Batman. I am not that mad at him being Batman. I think he's pretty okay. He's not my favorite Batman, but he's not my least favorite. Probably, I don't know, probably top 3. So I generally enjoy Batfleck, but please don't pair him with Wonder Woman because I feel like they had some real moments there and that it might lead to something in future movies, and I really don't want to see that happen. I'm sure that, I don't know, I can't imagine that they would, but I just felt a very strong vibe from those two characters. He obviously has a crush on her, and they've, you know, they made mention to that a couple times in the movie. She don't need no man, but I don't want it to be Batman if that's ever gonna happen. You guys know what I mean though? Like, there were vibes, there were serious vibes coming off of those two. Ezra Miller's Flash was so good. I loved it, and I was not that jazzed to have another Flash because I feel like we have a perfectly good one on TV, and why not just throw him into the movies too? He's a great Flash. But after seeing Ezra Miller, I get it. Whenever that actor is in anything, I cannot take my eyes off of him. He was so creepy in Fantastic Beasts, and I've loved him in so many things. He really had so much to do with like the lightening of the tone and lightning, see what I did there? That was not intentional. And his character was just so fun and funny, and I hope we see like way more of him in the future. And I was never really that big into the Flash, and recently I've been more excited about that character. So hopefully lots more to come from Ezra Miller's Flash, but I do also very much like the TV Flash. I mentioned how we knew that Superman was coming back, but I thought we might have another like surprise in it. Obviously the post-credit scene was a surprise, but I thought we might get to see a Green Lantern, and we did kind of. We got glimpses of, you know, the people in that universe when you see the flashbacks of everybody fighting Steppenwolf, which made me very excited. And I do hope they take the time to rectify what they did to the Green Lantern in the last movie version. Cyborg is a character I was never like really that familiar with, and so it was cool to get to know him through this movie. I have kind of no opinion on Cyborg, to be honest. He's just, I mean, he does a lot for the group. That was an understatement. He gets a lot of shit done for them. He really does. But as a character, I would like to see that develop more. I'm sure that in upcoming movies, we will get to see more of him and his relationship and how he's dealing with becoming who he is, becoming more accepting of what has happened to him. I think that is interesting. That would be interesting to see. And we didn't really get a whole lot of that in the movie. So yeah, that's gonna do it. This is a very rambly video. I wrote everything down and then I just kind of went on my own tangents, so I'm sorry this is all over the place. But all in all, I thought this was a really fun movie. I really liked it, and I walked out being like, DC did the damn thing. Finally, guys, like, keep making more movies like this, keep improving, bringing new people in, just keep this momentum going, because I really dug it, and everybody I saw it with really dug it too. So Good job, Justice League. I will probably watch it again fairly soon. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of the movie. Do you agree or disagree with anything that I say? Let's have a conversation about it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to hang out on the daily, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!